Shelley here. I wanted to try and work on my public speaking skills and get over my stage fright. So, this is part one of me reading excerpts from some of the books that I'm reading. Let me introduce this book. It's by Dr. Phil McGraw. The book is entitled Real Life, and the subtitle is Preparing for the 7 Most Challenging Days of Your Life. Okay, let me get my reading glasses. Okay, so we're starting with the introduction. If by chance you're one of those people who is tempted to skip ahead and read the last part of a book first, we are actually on the same page, so to speak, because I want to work backward with you here for a moment. I want to tell you right off the bat how I'm going to end this book. It really kind of makes sense to start this way because these few beginning pages are actually the last ones that I am writing after spending more than a year working on how best to help you, me, and the ones we love prepare for the 7 most challenging days of your life. So here's the end note. You might expect that after being immersed so fully in the dissecting of the difficult details of days that are anything but welcome, that I might be a bit ragged or pessimistic about life. But in actuality, nothing can be further from the truth. Life can be tough, but we are not victims. At least we don't have to be. Very true. This is a book about hope, joy, personal strength, and most importantly, peace of mind. These qualities of life can only be enhanced by doing and actively acknowledging that you have done the work needed to maintain your life balance and help those you love maintain theirs in the face of the ups and downs that have always been a part of life, though they are a part for which most of us get very little preparation. Real Life, this book, has been written with the goal of helping to fill what I think is a real void in how we are prepped for the most challenging days of our life. Despite the fact that life isn't always comfortable and can in fact be downright painful, I absolutely, unequivocally love it and cannot wait for what lies ahead in the years to come. After living in this world for more than half a century, I have seen a lot. Frankly, I have seen more than a lot. And just like yours, my life hasn't always been fun. It hasn't always been easy. And I certainly haven't had the best reactions, especially early on in my life. But all in all, I do love being in this world and feel blessed to be here. In fact, some of the days I've had, I feel blessed to be anywhere. In fact, given some of the days that I have had, I feel blessed to be anywhere. So far, I have lived just over 21,000 days. I don't remember specifics about most of those days, but some stand out because they have been nothing short of tremendous and spectacular. Many of these really good days can be attributed to good health, a wonderful, God-centered family, and a career that is so much fun that I almost feel guilty for getting paid for it. Almost. But, and isn't there almost always a big but? There have also been days that stand out because they were anything but tremendous and spectacular. In fact, some of those days I remember because they were among the most difficult days of my life. They were the days that threatened, took away, or destroyed that which I held most dear. Some of them felt as though they were a month long and at times made me question everything I thought I knew about myself and the world around me. These were days that sometimes left me feeling inept, inadequate, and out of control, especially when they impacted or involved those closest to me. If you're at all like me, you too have sometimes wondered, in the face of those bad days, if you would ever regain your balance, and your joy, and your hope, and a vision of any kind of future. If life can be so harsh, why am I so passionate about it, and looking forward to what's coming? Because I have come to believe that all of us, you and me included, have within us or if you don't believe in God-given gifts, can acquire the strength and wisdom to deal effectively with every challenge we will face in our lives. I don't say this as a rah-rah platitude, and I'm certainly not saying that we have algebra or geometry knowledge built into our DNA. But when it comes to the real questions about life, survival, peace, and happiness, no matter how much they are threatened or challenged, I believe that the ability to get to the truth and the answers needed to meet the demands resides within us and always has. We have what it takes to make this life a huge net plus. We are beyond equal to the challenge. I know this because I have learned to step back and watch myself and others triumph in the darkest of hours. We have all seen ordinary people show extraordinary depth and resourcefulness in the face of overwhelming challenges. The hardest part in making sure that you are one of those people is overcoming all the noise, clutter, and distractions of life that may have buried or distorted the strength and wisdom you have within you, and what wisdom you will need in order to get through those toughest times. The pace and complexity of life in this day and time sometimes makes it very difficult to get back to a place in our mind and spirit where we are able to access all we are and need to be. There is no substitute for good old-fashioned hard work, information preparation, and clearly thought-out coping strategies for a difficult time. That is what real life is all about. I want to help you access the best parts of who you are, especially in the worst parts of your life. Think about it. If you have an average lifespan, you will live approximately 78 years, or 28,470 days. Some, hopefully most of them, will be really good days. Some will be so mundane, it will be as if they didn't even happen. Some won't be so great. And a few, hopefully very few, will be really tough. Tough enough to affect your experience in all the other days. How much depends on how ready you are for those critical times. I know I'm right, and that you and those most precious to you are worth the time and effort it takes to prepare. In the pages that follow, I have not tried to reinvent the wheel, and I have made a concerted effort not to bog you down with more information than you need or can really effectively use when facing challenging times. I have written hundreds of pages about each of the 7 days that I've chosen to address here. And in fact, many experts have done exactly that and done it very well. If you feel the need for more information on any of these crises I have discussed here, and you very well may, there is extensive information at the back of this book. But my intention here is more focused on giving you what is, based on my experience and opinion, the core information that will help you manage your crisis one day at a time, without having to dig through an endless body of research, most of which was not written for real people in the real world anyway. Others might disagree, but I feel pretty strongly about what I've included here. I've put verbs in my sentences, and I've tried to get to the point in a very clear, concise, usable fashion. I'm going to identify what some of the most challenging days are, tell you what to expect, and when they come, so you are not surprised, ambushed, or shocked, and then suggest a strategy for getting you or your loved one back to better days. You will see that while there are some important differences, there are also some powerful commonalities in the coping strategies suggested for navigating through these tough days. So the good news is that you don't have to learn 7 totally different game plans. My hope and prayer, when you have finished this book, is that you feel a sense of calm in knowing that you are one of those people that are prepared for all that comes in this life. This preparation can yield huge dividends for yourself and even empower you to lead and help others in difficult times. That's the introduction. Thank you.